The 2017 Genesis G80 Sport. Considering the Genesis brand as a new entity, the Genesis G80 is technically a brand new car in the market. First on sale for the 2017 model year, the car has come off as a big hit, effectively fusing together power, luxury, and safety into one very sexy package. But there were two problems with the G80. The first problem is that it was nowhere near as stylish or aggressive as the Genesis New York concept, and the second problem is that there was no middle model, leaving consumers to choose between the 311 horsepower V6 and the 420 horsepower V8 models. For the 2018 model year, both of those problems have been addressed as Genesis has decided to refresh the G80 and introduce a new trim level known as the 3.3T Sport. This refreshing has brought new, better-looking fascia to the front and rear, the availability of rear-wheel or all-wheel drive across the entire range, new safety features, and a new standard 18-inch wheel design. On top of that, the new 3.3T Sport offers up a cool 365 horsepower and 376 pound-feet of torque, just the right amount to position it between the G80 3.8 and the G80 5.0. It seems pretty fast for such a new brand to offer up a model refresh after just a year on the market, but that just goes to show how serious the Genesis brand is about winning over consumers and keeping competing models like the BMW 5 Series and the Audi A6 at bay. The new sport trim should prove to be a breath of fresh air for anyone who wants more than 300 ponies on tap without having to step up to the range-topping 5.0 model. So, will Genesis garner new customers with the introduction of this new trim level and the refresh of the entire range? Only time will tell, but let's take a look at the new 3.3T Sport and see what it's all about. Continue reading to learn more about the Genesis G80 Sport. Exterior. Compared to the non-sport models, the 3.3T Sport features a completely unique look. The new headlights available across the line feature LED running lights along the bottom, outside edge, and to edge of each lens, which is a nice touch, but the real news is the exterior enhancements that come courtesy of the sport trim. First on the list up front is the new grille mesh and grille surround. Instead of having a rectangular mesh, the Sport gets a copper-colored, diamond mesh. The same mesh and color accenting can be found in the corner air vents and the lower air dam. The other big that sets this trim apart from the rest up front is the aggressive fascia. The corner vents are now larger, the air dam is more upswept, and the defining lines are sharper and more sculpted. The sport trim even has a set of nostrils between the grille and the air dam. It's bold, aggressive, and pleasing to look at. It's got just the right amount of darkness on the outside to appeal to those who like to black out a few things, without being too overboard or overly generic. Moving over to the side profile, there isn't a whole lot to talk about, but the window molding, mirror covers, wheels, and the cladding on the bottom of all doors are finished in dark chrome. There's also small copper strips on the door handles as well. Moving to the rear, the Sport gets new taillights that offer 6 different light modules, a red LED strip that runs the width of the lens, and small LED lights at the bottom that serve as signal lights. Down below the bumper is a little more sculpted than before, and the diffuser-like element adds a nice touch too. Dual, chrome exhaust outlets fill each corner of the fascia to round off the exterior package. 2 colors that are exclusive to this trim are available, Polar Ice and Sevilla Red. You've really got to tip your hat to Genesis for finding a way to differentiate this new trim from the rest of the lineup. It's bold, aggressive, and pleasing to look at. It's got just the right amount of darkness on the outside to appeal to those who like to black out a few things, without being too overboard or overly generic. It's a nice package, but there's a lot more to this trim than just the exterior, so let's move on a little bit. The competition. As far as competition goes, the G80 competes against the Audi A6 and the BMW 5 Series. Both are offered in a number of trim levels, but none of those trim levels vary each other as much as the Sport varies from the 3.8 and 5.0 models. The most relevant model from the BMW 5 Series lineup would be the BMW 535i. It gets a set of 18-inch V-spoke wheels that are wrapped in 245/45 series, run flat tires to go with LED fog lights, exterior trim pieces in chrome, xenon adaptive headlights, Corona headlight rings, power folding, heated mirrors, and non-metallic paint as standard equipment. It's not quite as aggressive as the Sport, but it does offer its own unique look, and you really can't beat BMW's signature grille. Moving over to the Audi A6 gives you a completely different look that is a little more in line with what the Sport is offering. The Audi comes with a large massive grille up front, and a small blocked-off air dam down below to go with non-functional air vents in each corner. To be fair, the G80 Sport does have some blockage behind the corner vents, but they aren't completely blocked off. The Audi rides on double, 5-spoke wheels and features mild wheel arch flares to help expose its sporty nature. Around back, the A6 is somewhat bland compared to the Sport, with a wide insert at the bottom of the fascia that houses rectangular exhaust.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.